welcome to the Festival of Storytellers. I thank everybody that's involved with this process because we know writers need readers and writers need publishers.
Experience is not about the publisher, it is about us, the authors.
Hi, I'm Sarah Gourd. And I'm going to be 85 this coming March. And some people think that's old. Well, I tell all my friends, remember, old age is always 15 years older than you are. That way we never get old. Anyway, I live in Indian Harbor Beach, Florida. I grew up in Norwich, Connecticut, and I've lived in many other places. When I got married, my husband was drafted in the Army at Fort Carson, Colorado. So I lived there for a while. I lived in Plantation, Florida, and Northborough, Massachusetts, Pepperell, Massachusetts, and Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I was a teacher. I taught in every single one of those towns I mentioned. And I taught either third or fourth grade because my favorite teacher was my third and fourth grade teacher. If you wonder why I had the same one 2 years, I went to a 2-room schoolhouse, first and second grade on one half and third and fourth grade on the other half. But since she was my favorite teacher, I decided I'm going to teach third and fourth grade when I teach. Anyway, when we retired, my husband and I spent 20 summers in Boston, which I loved. And we weren't snowbirds, we were sunbirds to get away from the heat in Florida. And my husband passed away 7 years ago, so we had to sell the condo. Anyway, in the year 2000, we lived in Amman, Jordan. My husband was asked to go there to start up international technology companies. And while there, I volunteered in the international school in fourth grade. There were 24 students, and only 2 were from the United States. You'd never guess what 2 states. Alabama and Vermont. Anyway, Amman was certainly an interesting place to live. I ate more lamb than I ever have in my whole life. Sheep are everywhere. And I did a lot of walking. And one thing that was really strange about the town, not one street had a name on it. I mean, I bought a map, and the map had, all the streets had a name, but they never had them there. So when I was in a cab and the driver didn't speak English, I had to learn 3 Arabic words. Left Yamin, left Yasa Dugri, which means turn left, turn right, straight ahead. And it actually worked. Anyway, the book I wrote is titled Bing. Why did I write the book? Well, one day I was walking in the neighborhood and I happened to see on someone's roof, there were all these baby ducks. And one of the ducks looked a little strange. And I thought, I'm going to write a children's story about this. And I only agreed to do it if my daughter agreed to do all the illustrations, because she'd do a much better job than I would. And anyway, I forgot to mention something about Petra, but that's okay. And who should read the book? And I have 3 reasons. Young children who love animal stories, parents who are looking for books with good values for kids, and teachers seeking good reading material for the class. And one day I went to a fourth grade class in a school in my neighborhood. I can walk there. And I read the book Bing. After I read the book, one of the students raised their hands and asked me, "Would you mind reading it again?" I thought, wow. Anyway, it's about how an injured baby duck is found by a young boy and how they end up becoming good friends forever. So it's perfect for children to see how the boy's caring and gentle treatment of Bing actually worked. And it helps children understand why it is essential to be kind and helpful to others, even animals. And you can buy it at Barnes & Noble, Amazon, and Reader's Magnet. So I'm going to read the book. And I hope you can see the pictures because it's hard to show it and read it at the same time. Anyway, one sunny day in early spring, as I climbed out of bed, I saw beyond my bedroom window a duck land on our shed. The next day, while I was watching her, she was carefully building a nest. She carried twigs throughout the day before she stopped to rest. I climbed up the oak tree by the shed to get a better view. When I was high enough, I said, "Aha, now I see you." The duck stood up at the edge of the roof, perched on her 2 thin legs. And then I could see in the nest she laid 5 precious little eggs. You can see there they are. The very next night, I suddenly woke up to rain, lightning, and thunder. Was the mother duck and her 5 eggs safe? I began to worry and wonder. When the sun came out the following day, I glanced outside my window. I saw on the lawn a tiny baby duck suffering from a broken toe. I quickly ran outside my house to get a closer look. I realized immediately a fall from the roof he took. I quickly dashed into the house and found a small shoebox, and from my bedroom bureau grabbed a pair of soft green socks. I carefully picked up the suffering duckling and saw he had a cut knee. Since his mother couldn't take care of him, I decided it had to be me. It was then that I suddenly realized I had to call him something. And the first idea that came to my mind was, why don't I call him Bing? Every day I cared for Bing as his bruises began to mend. He often seemed to look at me as though I was his friend. I checked on the ducklings on the roof and saw they were doing well. I was extremely happy to discover no more of the ducklings fell. The mother duck seemed very concerned about her missing baby. I was happy to be able to convince her what a good duck doctor I could be. So I carried Bing out in his own shoebox so Mother Duck would know that her baby Bing still suffered from a very hurt knee and toe. I convinced Bing's very caring mother that I would set Bing free. As soon as he was healed and well, I would set him out under the tree. A few weeks later, I saw Mother Duck with her ducklings walking in line. When she looked at me with concern, I said, "Don't worry, little Bing's doing fine." Mother Duck and her ducklings together continued walking in the woods by the path. At the end of the path was a beautiful pond to enjoy swimming and taking a bath. I took baby Bing down the forest path when his toe and knee were healed. As soon as he saw his family, he was so happy he squealed. The whole duck family seemed very happy to have their little Bing back. They all shouted together with a great deal of joy. Quack, 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 quack. They swam together out into the pond, but not too far to see. Little Bing slightly turned his head and nod a big thank you to me. The very next year, in the following spring, a walk down the path I took. I wondered if I could see any ducks, so I decided to take a good look. I saw some ducks swimming a distance away, but one wasn't out as far, when all of a sudden he swam up to me, and I noticed on his toe was a scar. He looked at me, flipped his wing in a way that was very clever. I immediately knew it was Bing telling me, "You will be my friend forever." Anyway, that's the end of the story. Are there any questions? The idea of how good it is to take care of an animal. Did you hear me? Yeah, the lesson is it helps children understand why it is essential to be kind and helpful to others, and how good it makes you feel when you can do something like that. Some illustrations, well, I can show some of them, not all of them. Here's one. That's Bing. That's another one. I can't show them all. I mean, that's I already did show them all. That's where they all in the pond. But they're, and of course, I love the last one. That's when they love each other. Well, thank you, Paul. Is there any other questions? Hello, Nicole. Is that it? Well, I hope you enjoyed it all. I guess I'm done now. Well, thank you all very much. What's the benefits of early exposure? Well, they learn how to care for others and how important it is. If you love animals, well, I happen to love animals, so it's good to, if you see an animal in need, to help it, and it's nice. Makes you feel good. No, I don't have an audio book yet. Sorry. Any more questions? I guess not. Is that the end? Oh, you can buy it at Barnes and Noble, on Amazon, or Reader's Digest. What outdoor activities can animal families engage in? I have no idea. Well, I love nature, so take your animals for a walk in nature. And my daughter Nancy, she did the illustrations. She's very good at it. A lot better than I would ever be. Thanks to her. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have done the book. I haven't yet, not yet. But thank you for asking. Speaking of animals, I forgot to mention about my cat Moses. He was born in the bushes by a stray cat walking in my neighborhood, and the cat had, I named him Moses because in the Bible Moses was born in the bushes, but the cat had 5 adorable kittens, but Moses was the cutest. And so I had to keep him, and my husband took the rest of the 4 kittens and the mother to work and got rid of all of them. Well, I've never had a cat so smart as Moses. I have 3 reasons. One, at 7 in the morning and 7 at night, I'd say, Moses, it's time for your shot. He would come in, sit on the kitchen floor, and let me give him a shot. I forget what it was for, but he knew what I meant. And one day, my daughter came, Susan, with her 2 cats, and I had Figaro, my Siamese cat, and Moses. And if we put them on a float in the pool, if they fell off in the water, could they swim and get out safely? Well, both Susan's cats did. Figaro, my Siamese cat, did. He fell off and he swam okay. And Moses went last. He waited for the breeze to blow him to the edge of the pool and hopped off and never got wet. And the third thing, I've never had a cat watch television before. And I know Moses, he was staring at the TV. I would tell him, Moses, nature's on. And he knew what I meant. He came in and sat on the table in front of the TV. And I know he was staring at it because one day a bird flew across the screen. He immediately hopped up and looked behind the TV. Where'd the bird go? He was an amazing cat. Yeah, I could do that. Is Bing, I guess that's why he's so beautiful. I don't get it. So I guess that's it for today. Is it? Okay, I think I'm going to go now. Well, thank you all for listening, and I enjoyed your comments. Thank you.